Okay, let's do it, man. Let's talk about the best team in basketball, the Milwaukee Bucks, yet again. This team right here, man, it's not even a surprise. When you look at that roster, they're so deep. But now they are currently the number one seed in the East, and I don't think they're going to give that up to the Celtics. They are currently on a 16-game winning streak. You heard that right. 16-game win streak, and they do not look like they're going to be losing anytime soon. I actually think they're going to push it past 20 plus games. It's really impressive. Giannis missed the game the other day, and he still got the job done, and that's exactly what prompted me to wanting to do this video. The fact that I see their main superstar, in MVP contention, and he misses the game and they still get the job done, and it just shows you they are a deep roster. Drew Holiday stepped up and had a 30-plus game, and they got that win when Giannis was out. So let's talk about the Bucks, man. So let's break this down. They are the number one seed in the East, the second best defense based on statistics, and then they're on a 16-game win streak. And I want to point this out right here. Their big four, which is Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, and Brook Lopez, they've only started 4 games together. And this was a stat by StatMuse, and it blew my mind. You're talking about the best team in the East on a 16-game win streak, and their main 4 starters have only played 4 games together and where they started. I look at this roster, and I just don't see any weaknesses. There is literally not a position with a weakness, from point guard all the way to the 5 at the center position. There's no weaknesses. They got guys coming off the bench. They got veterans. They got young guys. They got three-point shooters. It's defense all around, a super defensive-minded team. And we got to give credit. They surrounded Giannis with all the right pieces. Chris Middleton is a perfect complimentary guy. He's not really a superstar, but he's going to get the job done. Drew Holiday is probably one of the most underrated players in the league, and it's been now for a while. This guy really does it all. I don't know what Drew Holiday doesn't do on a basketball court. It's just a perfect piece for that team. And then Giannis Antetokounmpo, you know what he does on both sides of the floor. And I just think the GM, dude, the GM and just everyone has done such a good job at building around Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think the rest of the teams around the league need to take notes on how the Bucks have built this team. I want to go ahead and say the Jay Crowder acquisition at the trade deadline was an absolute steal. I don't know how they pulled it off, but good for them because they added another veteran 3-and-D guy that's going to definitely make an impact and have an impact during the playoffs. If you are an actual basketball fan and you understand the sport, you know what kind of an acquisition this was for the Bucks. To be able to get Jay Crowder, it's just such a monster move for a team that was already stacked. You're adding just an extra piece just to be that more dominant, that more solid all around. Let's talk about coaching. The coaching staff is one of the best in the league. They understand what works and what doesn't work for that team. For so many years now, they've been able to get the job done and be one of the top teams in the East. And, obviously they're not going to get the credit that's due. At the end of the day, the players are the ones that is going to be talked about. But I think we got to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff. Got them boys ready. They always compete. I don't really think we ever see the Bucks come out flat. It's very, very minimal games where you see the Bucks come out flat and not give 100% effort. It's not the kind of team. And I think a lot of that goes back to the coaching staff, getting those guys prepared, having them mentally ready for every single night. Obviously, Giannis is a great leader, but I think that's also an extension of the coaching staff. They are just locked from the front office to the coaching staff to the players. It feels like they're super synchronized, and I got to say, I think they are the best team in basketball right now. I mean, the 16-game win streak speaks for itself. But I would say, yes, they are better than the Celtics, and they are better than the Nuggets. I've been getting asked this question on stream, and I haven't answered it because I didn't quite want to make a pick, but I'm making my pick right now just based on what's going on. You can't deny that the Milwaukee Bucks are the best team in the league. It's just perfect timing how we are in the back end of the season. Regular season is about to end, going into the playoffs, and now it's when they're clicking 100%. The team just got it going. Can't talk about team success and not bring up Brook Lopez and what he is doing for the Bucks. A menace at the 5. We're talking about shot blocking, one of the top shot blockers in the league right now. And you're talking about a defensive player of the year candidate. Don't think he's gonna win it, over guys like Jaren Jackson or maybe Claxton, but I think Brook Lopez is definitely in the running for defensive player of the year, and rightfully so. Best record in the East. And again, it's just like a perfect fit. It just fits like a glove. Giannis Antetokounmpo obviously needs a stretch 5 to be on that floor for it to all work, and Brook Lopez is that guy. And here's the thing about Brook Lopez. He's not just a regular stretch big. He's an actual center that just happens to be really good at shooting the 3 ball. Defensively, Brook Lopez is not like the other stretch bigs that we're used to. This guy actually clamps up on the interior and he rebounds and boxes out. His rebounding numbers might not necessarily be the best, but when you look at it, when you do the eye test, you see that Brook Lopez is boxing everything out in the paint and letting Giannis and Drew Holiday come in for those rebounds. And just in case anyone forgot, the Bucks do have Joe Ingles. Yeah, you heard that right, Joe Ingles, which by the way, last night in 20 minutes, he gave them 16 points off the bench, 2 rebounds and an assist. So yeah, Joe Ingles is a part of the Milwaukee Bucks. Another guy on the roster that's getting it done, and I feel like he could actually start on some other teams in the NBA, is Bobby Portis. What are we talking about, man? Bobby Portis, another good rebounding big, stretches the floor. I love his energy. He is just another perfect fit on this roster. Moving on to Pat Connaughton and Grayson Allen. What else is there to say? 2 tough guys that are going to play a lot of defense, and they're going to shoot threes. By the way, Pat Connaughton, pretty good at getting to the rim. So let's go ahead and make some predictions. I think the Bucks are going to come out the East. It's between the Celtics or the Bucks, but I'm just going to go ahead and make my prediction right now. The Milwaukee Bucks are going to be in the NBA Finals. I think the Milwaukee Bucks are going to be in the NBA Finals representing the East. It's going to be against the Boston Celtics. If you ask me, it's going to be a 6 to 7 game series, and the Bucks will come out on top. It's going to be a really good series, though. If we do get that series in the playoffs, I'm calling it right now. It might be the best playoff series the entire postseason. And it'll be fireworks, man. It really will. We're talking about Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, Brogdon now off the bench. So they have a really good roster. Robert Williams, Al Horford, experienced veteran. And then I would just love to see them, collide with the Milwaukee Bucks, Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Brook Lopez. Just all of these names, how they contrast and how they compete against each other. It just sounds kind of crazy. And I would love to see a 7-game series between the Celtics and the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals. That would be the ideal scenario, but I do have the Bucks advancing and going to the NBA Finals. Gonna go ahead and make my pick right now. If they are injury-free, I think the Bucks are gonna win the NBA championship this year. I do think Giannis is getting his second Finals MVP and his second championship. You guys heard it right here for the first time. This is my official prediction. Giannis and the Bucks are going to be the 2023 NBA champions. Gonna wrap it up on that note, man. They are on a super impressive 16-game win streak. There's no denying they are the best team in the league right now, but I do want to get you guys' thoughts and opinions. Comment down below in the comment section. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Let's get it.